Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
It's been crucial. I mean, I'm the reason I'm talking to you right. They are the reason I'm talking to you right now. Odie and Bill and all the coaches there, everybody in the organization. Being there when I was 15 for the championship run to get to see everything that they did to what it takes to win. I love playing there, and it's so crucial that I went there.
Overall by the Canucks, that's Braeden Cootes talking about the importance of playing with a solid organization like the Seattle Thunderbirds. Bil La Forge of the Thunderbirds, their GM, is going to join us in a moment. And all of our guests today, including Bill, are sponsored by Basant Motors. Ready to find your next vehicle? Visit Basant Motors today to experience the difference for yourself. The friendly team looks forward to helping you drive home in the perfect vehicle for your needs and budget. Getting to your destination starts with them. Stop by their dealership located at 16315 Fraser Highway in Surrey. Check them out online at Basant Motors, BASANT Motors.com. Bil La Forge has been the Seattle Thunderbirds GM since 2018. The Canucks drafted T-Birds captain Braeden Cootes. You just saw him 15th overall on Friday. He led Seattle in points this past season. Bil La Forge joining us now. Bill, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. What are the Canucks getting in Braeden Cootes?
Special player, special person. Braeden is a captain of our team at a young age, obviously, and it was something that how I put it yesterday was we didn't make him the captain. We just gave him the letter to put on his jersey. I mean, he made himself the captain just by the way he carries himself and how hard he works on and off the ice, and the example he provides for our group. We have such a young team here, and he just took it by the took the bull by the horns and led us in the right direction. And like I said, we're really happy for him and excited that Vancouver got such a good player in the draft.
You mentioned leadership, and the Canucks talked a lot about his 200-foot game, but maybe you could elaborate on that, Bill. What does he do well?
He does everything well. I mean, he kills penalties. He's on the power play, wins puck battles. And, with his skating and his balance and the strength that he has, especially on his stick, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't lose many puck battles. But if he does lose one, it upsets him enough that he gets it back right away. So, he's aware. He realizes that, the games are won in both ends of the rink. So he wants to be there and be a factor at all times.
Yeah, I'm telling you, just looking at this footage we're running, a lot of Canuck fans will like that shot from the Ovechkin spot on the power play. So he's still a young kid. We mentioned all the positives. Where does he need to get better, Bill?
I think just like everybody, it's bigger, faster, stronger, just experience. Cootsie is going to play with good players this year here, and I think the offensive game will uptick even from where it was last year. But I think he's on the right path, and with his work ethic, there's no question in my mind that he's going to get to his goal one day, and hopefully sooner than later. And I'm excited to watch him in a Canucks jersey.
Bill, talk about leadership. He's such a young kid, but yet he's your captain in your league. Most captains are 19, 20, and the older guys. But how did he take on that leadership role of being captain?
Yeah, like I said, it was just, by example at first, just how hard he works. I had NHL teams coming to watch him practice this year, and I would say, well, you better get here early because he'll be on the first one on the ice every day, and he is. And, he's out after working on his skills, and, that Ovechkin shot you saw wasn't by accident. He works on that every practice. And, just he handles himself with so much class and character that the guys around him are drawn to him. And it's exciting. Like I said, he was our captain long before he got the letter on his jersey. He easily could have been the guy for us last year at 16. We just didn't want to put that much pressure on him. For the most part, I would prefer not to have a guy going into his draft year wearing the C on his jersey. Just it's an extra pressure. But with him, he just embraced it, and we really had it was our best option, and I knew he could handle it. the mental aspect of it. So it was exciting.
Bill, you had another kid there in Seattle, Canuck draft pick Sawyer. Boy, the Canucks are really high on him. Bill, talk about his time in Seattle and how where do you project him to see, and how good was he in Seattle?
Sawyer was a great Thunderbird, skating, just offensive defenseman who can play both ends. He's hard to play against. I think the first thing that jumps out, obviously, is how well he skates, and he can shoot the puck. He's really good in the power play, block shots on the penalty kill. He's an all-around defenseman. Was great for us here. Actually, was sharing the C with Cootes before we moved him at the deadline. So, great kid, good person, great teammate, and had a great career here in Seattle, and we're excited to watch him going forward.
Bill, got to ask you about all these Western Hockey League superstar kids going to the NCAA. How concerned are you, Bill, and about that situation?
Obviously, we want our players to stay here and finish out their career. I think it's our job to provide them with the best development experience we can, and hopefully make their time here as enjoyable and successful as possible. And I think, I can only worry about what's happening here in Seattle. And, both our guys that were first round picks are excited to come back. And so that's kind of where my focus has been. But I think as a league overall, we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to show our players that we're working on their development and excited to have them finish their junior careers here. So overall, I think that the players are going to go where they think they're being developed. And, I'm excited with the Western Hockey League, the job we do as a league. If you look in the first round of the draft, I mean, there was Western League players coming off the board consistently. So I think that shows that we're still the number one development league in the world. And, this is a new landscape we're heading into, and we won't know how it plays out for a couple of years. We'll see. We're confident that a guy like Braeden, who's staying here this year, is going to develop at a rate that's at or above the players that are leaving, and we'll see how it works out for them. And I wish them all the best of luck, I guess, once they're out of the league, but. For the most part, I think that we're doing a great job in the CHL and WHL specifically. So I'm proud of our development path.
Yep. And again, Braeden expected to stay in Seattle next season. Hey, Bill, you mentioned it there. Radim Murtka taken 9th overall from the Seattle Thunderbirds by Buffalo. I believe you had 3 players in all taken at the draft. Is that all about the GM?
Oh, no, definitely not all about the GM. We have tremendous coaching here. Matt Odette's our head coach, Carter Cochran and Taylor Macon our assistants, and I think it starts as right from the ownership. We have great ownership here. There's a good history of players getting drafted out of here, not only getting drafted, but signing their NHL contracts and going on and having success at the next level. So I think it's an organizational thing. It's a work ethic. It's, a continued development model that we're working every day with our kids to make sure they're developing. And so I think it's an organizational pat on the back that we get, but the players are the ones that are driving their own development for the most part.
Okay, so off the subject a bit here, Bill, it's been a few years now, but what's it like sharing the Seattle hockey market with the Kraken?
It's been good. I mean, I think the increased level of interest in the game here has helped all the other markets around. And I think, we have a game there every season where we play at the Climate Pledge Arena. So they've been good partners to work with. But it's different price points. So I think that, when kids are just deciding that hockey's their game and they're really interested in watching hockey, they come out to a Thunderbird game, and eventually, maybe we'll get to go to a couple of Kraken games a year. But for the most part, I think just the increased level of interest in the game is what's important. And, like I said, the Kraken have been great partners here in the Pacific Northwest.
And I love that arena in Kent. If you haven't checked it out, folks, it's pretty special. Bill, first time you've been on the show. Thanks so much for this. We really appreciate it. Hope to have you back.
Anytime. Thanks a lot, guys.